Some places don't die, they just stop speaking out loud. In the Appalachian Mountains, there are towns that never made it into the history books. No plaques, no roadside markers, just a bend in the road where the air feels heavier and your chest tightens for no good reason. Houses were dismantled board by board, churches hauled away, graves moved, some carefully, some not at all. What's left are chimneys standing alone, like teeth in a skull. Old folks used to say, a chimney won't fall as long as something remembers the fire. That's why these places feel watched. The warmth is gone, but the memory of it lingers. Families laughed here. Babies cried here. People died badly here. Then one day, everyone agreed not to talk about it anymore. And the land noticed. You'll hear locals say, the woods reclaimed it. That's the polite version. The older truth is this. The mountains don't reclaim, they keep, they absorb. They file things away the way stone remembers pressure. Walk through one of these vanished towns at dusk, and you might smell smoke where there is no fire. You might hear a screen door slap shut when there's nothing standing to hold it. That's not a ghost story. That's memory misfiring in real time. Appalachia is full of places like this, erased but not forgiven. Lewiston, Tennessee, the town under the water. Before Norris Lake glittered like a postcard, there was a town called Lewiston. It sat along the Clinch River, small and unremarkable in the way most real places are. Stores, farms, a schoolhouse, churches that knew every family secret within 5 miles. People were born there, married there, buried there, nothing mystical about it until it was decided it would no longer exist. In the 1,930 the Tennessee Valley Authority came through with plans for a dam. Progress, they called it. Electricity, flood control, a better future. Lewiston was given a choice that wasn't really a choice at all, move or be erased. Homes were dismantled. Some families relocated uphill, others scattered for good. Graves were moved carefully on paper, hastily in practice. Locals will still tell you not everyone made the trip. Then the water rose. Lewiston didn't burn. It didn't collapse. It didn't rot away over time. It was drowned deliberately, like a thought someone didn't want to finish. Today, when the lake is low, you can still see foundations and stonework along the shore, straight lines where walls once stood, steps that lead nowhere. Fishermen say their lines snag on things that don't feel like rock. Boaters talk about cold patches in the water, even in summer. Not currents, cold spots, as if the lake remembers what it covered and refuses to warm those places fully. This isn't a ghost story in the Hollywood sense. No pale figures waving from beneath the surface. It's worse than that. It's a story about displacement, about what happens when a community is treated like an obstacle instead of a living thing. The mountains didn't flood Lewiston. People did, and the land has never stopped keeping score. There's a reason so many Appalachian ghost stories begin with the same sentence. They moved the graves. In the mountains, land isn't just dirt. It's lineage. Families buried their dead on hillsides they could see from the porch. You woke up with your ancestors in view. You went to sleep knowing where you came from. That mattered. When dams were built, roads cut through, and towns erased, graves were supposed to be relocated. On paper, it was all very respectful. In practice, it was rushed, underfunded, and done by men who didn't belong to the place long enough to fear it. Markers were lost, coffins collapsed, some graves were never found at all, others were left behind because the work had a deadline and the water was already rising. That's when the stories start. Lights on hills that no longer exist, knocking sounds from the ground, dogs refusing to cross certain patches of land, people waking up certain they heard their names spoken in a familiar voice, one that shouldn't know where they live anymore. This isn't superstition for entertainment, it's cultural physics. You disrupt a system that's been in place for generations, and the balance goes sideways. Appalachia doesn't frame that as haunting, it frames it as consequence. You don't move the dead without consequences. And when you do, the land remembers before the people do. Old Appalachians don't say a place is haunted. They say it's wrong. Wrong means the birds go quiet too fast. Wrong means your footsteps sound like someone else's. Wrong means you feel watched but not threatened, like something is checking to see if you belong there. Ask about submerged towns or moved graves, and you'll notice the pause. Not fear, calculation. People deciding how much truth you've earned. Some will tell you their grandparents refused to swim in certain lakes, not because of drowning risk, but because people were under there. Others will mention roads that make them roll their windows up, even in summer. No reason, they just do. There are families who swear clocks stop working when brought home from those areas, dogs that won't sleep facing the water, children who point at empty spaces and ask who lives there now. No one dramatizes it. That's the important part. Appalachian stories don't bloom, they settle. They sound like warnings disguised as small talk. Because once you acknowledge that a place remembers what was done to it, you have to live differently on that land. You have to be quieter, more careful, more honest. And not everyone wants that responsibility.